Doom, 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 doom,
Ooh.
doom, 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 doom. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Tuesday, NBA Talk with Jay here. We got our guy Andy with us, the prop god. You can follow him on Twitter at Bump Sports. Obviously, you can find him over at Wager Talk as well. That's $2 Tuesday. A lot of great deals. You get best bets for $2 over there at wagertalk.com. Andy, how you doing today, my brother? Everything cool with you?
I wasn't ready for the acapella. You just like going on your own. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I didn't. By the time I figured out what instrument I was going to do for backups, you were over with the intro. So, yeah, prop God was sad. We lost our big prop last night. We had Jamal Murray over 26.5 points. He ends on 25. He passed the ball in basically every pick and roll that he did, and then missed a bunny there at the end, and then have a chance to go to overtime. Okay, we go to overtime. Surely he's going to get 2 points. Then, of course, he's the one that steals the ball from LeBron to prevent it. So it's just that was a really frustrating loss. We did hit the Nuggets on the series total or the series, but that was about as easy as it gets. I mean, we had them just straight up. So, and spoiler. I will be going right back to the Nuggets to win the next series. They have just been fantastic. So just waiting for the series to get closed out, and I will be jumping on the Nuggets one more time.
I cannot talk you off. Yeah, I see them like favor like minus 275, minus 300 to win the finals right now, man. So pretty high there, but it's definitely looking likely. And they'll win, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Our guy Ernest, my guy Juju, Mitch Armstrong, we got AZ, Sock Nation, West Niles off in there, man. Talk Sports with JT, everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Only one game today, guys, so it will be a quick show. We're going to go over what we think is going to happen, sides, props, totals, all that good stuff. Andy, we're not here to waste the people time. Let's get straight to it here. Let's go over to the streets of South Beach in this one. We got the Miami Heat laying a point and a half at the house versus the Boston Celtics in this one. Getting back plus 1.5 on the roads. Heat are finally favorites in the series. They're up in the series 3-0 as well. Andy, we're looking like we're going to have two sweeps happen right in the Eastern Conference Finals. Total sitting at 215. Do you think Jimmy Butler and the gang close it out tonight versus these weak ass Boston Celtics?
We saw the Lakers play with a lot of heart. They played really good. They just couldn't quite get it done. So you would like to think that Boston puts together somewhat of an effort. Like just try. Even if they lose, can we get effort? Can we get decent body language out of Tatum and these? Can we get them to stop bitching at the referees every single time down the court? I gotta say, I think that's where the difference is between the Lakers and the Nuggets and the Celtics and the Heat. The Lakers didn't, implode on themselves. They fought. They were just up against a much better team. With Boston, I really do worry about the rollover here because of just like it just feels like there's no steam left and there's no energy left. If this gets off to a rough start for Boston, yikes!
That's it.
It's over.
It.
Like if the first quarter, I think is going to tell you everything you need to know. So I think when you're betting this game, you have to put your foot down and you have to say, all right, is Boston going to fight hard and make this a game, or are they just going to roll over and get blown out? Because it affects how you're going to bet all of these player props. I'm leaning more towards Boston is probably done with this series. I can't imagine they're really excited to go back and lose on their home court to Miami in Game 5. So I'm not playing the game on the spread, but I do have some other plays that I like based on the assumption that the Boston's just going to kind of roll over tonight and the Heat take it in 4.
Yeah, what I saw in Game 3, man, the Celtics, they basically have no chance, man. You never really just like to count a team out, but this team, like I say, Game 3 was the one where you could have really got back in the series, in my opinion, right? Coming out there having that type of outing, man, just really shows your life. They gave up by halftime, right? They're not listening to the coach anymore. I've been saying all year, Joe Mazzulla, I'm worried about Joe Mazzulla and how far he can take this team. This is a championship Celtics team. They don't have a championship coach, not even close, in my opinion. He's maybe like a varsity, maybe JV type of coach, in my opinion, man. man. So no respect from Missoula for me. He's not getting his team ready. He's not rallying his team. You look at the third quarters as well. That's when you can really tell the voice of a coach with his team. If they're not coming out showing things in the third quarter, like even just some fight, some intensity, that tells you everything you need to know right there. He didn't have them ready to go in last game. I mean, I can't tell you, there was one call in the first quarter where the Celtics thought they were going to get a call. It's Jaylen Brown versus Gabe Vincent, and it was like a 5-point swing. And it's like, and it's just what you said, Andy. With really that, you can't put on the coach because the team kind of just gave up after that. Like, all right, we're not getting calls tonight. This is unfair. We're going to be mad at the refs all night, not play our game. That's signs of a softer type of team for me. At least with the Heat, they don't get their calls. At least they get their ass back on defense and play the same way every single time. So Heat, the odds makers have moved this line to Heat -1.5. I cannot talk them off. It's hard for me to see in the Celtics win this game. I'm betting the Heat. I'm not betting them here, but I mean, like I say, I can't bet the Celtics in this spot, man. I don't trust them. Would the NBA like to see an extended series? You damn right they would. But like I say, it's just a game where I see conflicting sides in this one. Not betting against the Heat in this one. Don't trust the Celtics enough in this one. If you're betting the Celtics, you're basically betting that the refs will keep them in this game because just a few calls going against them, the Celtics kind of just get down on themselves, Andy. So really tough for me to put my money on this soft-ass Celtics team. They're not being motivated. They're not playing their best basketball as well. And the Heat are the stronger, more strong-minded team as well in this one, Andy. What do you think? Should we be taking some unders on the Celtics here? Or I know me personally, I was looking at possibly Jimmy Butler under his 28.5 points. He's been really sharing the ball a while, going over his assists, but the last few games hadn't really cared about scoring a whole lot because Gabe Vincent has been going off. You got Strus hitting threes. Duncan Robinson even coming off the bench and finally earning his paycheck as well. So seems like Butler doesn't necessarily need to be the catalyst to make the team to go. I'd be looking at possibly his under 28.5. It's not saying they can't still win without him, but I think Butler has kind of figured out that he doesn't need to go balls to the wall on the defensive side. Get some rebounds, get some steals, play defense right, get some assists. That's his path to success. I think he goes under his 28. I think it's 28.5 points tonight. Andy, what do you like? You like some unders on the Celtics? They get blown out, they're gonna just put the bench players in, right?
Yeah, well, you talked about, sharing, and, one of the things with Jimmy Butler to kind of piggyback off your under a points. Yeah, they have it's a little juiced. It's -150 on DraftKings, but they have his assist total at 5.5. I mean, the guy's gone over every game. He's had 7, 6, and 6. His rebounds and assist prop has been good. Even going back to last series, his assists and rebounds prop has been good. I mean, this guy had 14 rebounds and assists. He had 8 rebounds and 6 assists last game in only 31 minutes because he didn't play the fourth quarter. So could that scenario happen again? Yeah, absolutely. It could happen again where, Boston just gives up and you see the Heat come out. I do like where you're going with the under the points. I mean, his points have gone down quite a bit every single game. I'm 35, 27, 16. And part of the ways that the Heat blow teams out is when these other guys get hot from three. And where Butler doesn't have to work as hard to drive into the lane and go into, double coverage and try and get those tough buckets. But if you got Strus and Gabe Vincent and Duncan, the corpse of Duncan Robinson, who's had a resurrection, if those guys are hitting threes, I mean, forget about it. Butler's not going to have to put that much wear and tear on his body. And yeah, his assists go up and his points are going to come way down. So I like where you're headed with that one. You're talking about some unders. I mean, Al Horford's been a disaster in this series. He's just been terrible. I mean, awful.
He's fucking old. My guy might be the same age as Udonis Haslem out there, man. Good
I think
Lord.
it's the same age as the coach.
Man, I think he's older.
Just a year or two, or
I think he's older than I think he's older than Mazzulla is, man. Good Lord.
Can I defend Joe Mazzulla?
Please don't.
No,
go ahead.
He was put in an impossible task on a job that he should not have been offered.
I don't think so, Andy. Bro, first year head coach, he just got the team that came from the Eastern Conference. That just came from the finals last year. It's one of the easiest positions put in ever. Now, I can't say expectation wise, they did have the expectations high, like it was championship or bust, but you can't tell me that a coach coming in his first year is coming. Now, I know that Udoka's situation, it wasn't good, but as far as just getting the team, I mean, the players that they have on there, I'm sorry, I can't defend Mazzulla here. If he was even just at least a competent coach, they at least would have came out there and not not get blown out like that in game 3. They should not be getting swept in this series. I'm sorry. I would fire Missoula before this game. Like, I'm dead serious with this shit.
I agree. I think that he just needed a lot more time as an assistant coach. He has not been in the NBA for a long time. I mean, this is a guy that coached with the Maine Lobsters. Like this was part of his resume. Like one of the I'm
Bro,
serious. That was one of his. That was one of
Andy,
his.
they're
So
called the Lobsters for real?
yeah, what somebody in the chat help me out. It's like the Maine Lobsters. That was one of his on his resume.
Hey. All right, the main law. Man, get this guy the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man.
Well,
my guy come from the seafood universe, the seafood team, man. Get this
I'm
guy
sorry,
up
the
outta here,
Maine
man.
Red Claws. That's what it was.
Okay,
The Maine
same
Red
shit.
Claws.
So the crab legs.
Yeah, the lobster claws. So, I mean, it's the guy who came, just 6 years ago. He was the head coach of Fairmont State, not Fairmont State.
Oh,
So they were the Maine Red Claws. Thank you, Michael. So I just like he wasn't ready. And how can you possibly get Tatum and Brown and Horford to listen to this guy? They should have known that this was an impossible spot for him. And you can't.
Hey, maybe they should go eat some seafood. Maybe they go eat some seafood.
They'll have plenty of time to do that, Jay. So,
Oh,
the Maine Lobsters, the Red Claw, same thing. All right, so anyway, back to some player props. So I defend him because you have to take the job. You can't turn down an NBA coaching job, but it just should not have been offered to him. There were many different scenarios. So he did the right thing, which was taking the job. It hasn't gone well, so I'll defend him to that. I'll go back. I'll go to Mr. Turnover himself. That's what I call Jaylen Brown these days, is Mr. Turnover.
Hand.
Yeah, they still got him at 2.5 turnovers. I mean, he didn't play a full game and he still had 3. He dribbles it off his foot. He dribbles with like no authority, like no control over the ball. The guys just swipe the ball, all the time. He can throw it out of bounds, so you can still keep cashing on Jaylen Brown to turn the ball over. There are very few limited props because I like where you're going with Jimmy Butler, but for the other players, I don't know who's going to get hot from 3-point land for Miami. It kind of differs from game to game, so I can't really look at, Max Strus over his threes. I can't say with confidence there. And with Boston, I mean, good luck taking an over. You know who else has pulled a complete disappearing act is Malcolm Brogdon. He was doing good in rebounds and assists. Those have absolutely disappeared. You can take his under assists. I believe they lowered it to 2.5. It was 3.5 last game. He hasn't been doing anything there. His points, rebounds, and assists, which was an incredible bet throughout the playoffs, has dried up. You're definitely not looking at a Brogdon over, because even though he comes off the bench, when Boston benches their starters, he gets benched too. So he's a bench player that doesn't really count as a bench player, I guess. So I cannot find one Boston Celtic that I would confidently play over on anything tonight, except Jaylen Brown over his turnovers, which I believe gives you a really good indication of how Boston is playing now.
Yeah, no, that's a fact there, man. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't bet the game, but I do think Jimmy Butler. What number do you see that at, Andy? I think it's I saw 28 points.
What do you want? Points?
Yeah, just under points.
All right, so Jimmy Butler's it's 27.5 at -135 on DraftKings right now.
On the under?
That's on the over. You want the under? Or you're getting plus 105. Plus 105.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I like that. I like the under for Jimmy Butler's points tonight, my guys. That's what I like. I didn't bet the game that he could get the win, but I could still see Jimmy Butler going under his points and Andy. That would be my top look in the game. Can't tell if you like the Heat -1.5. I can't talk you off. The Celtics look like they've damn near given up, man. And you down 3-0. Do you really want to try to win 4 straight games? I mean, obviously you want to try to, but they don't really seem like they have it. They definitely don't have the coach. The Heat could really run circles around these guys tonight, man. So let's see what happens. I say we could have no games until June 1st, right? That would be crazy as hell, Andy, if there was no games till June 1st, but it's definitely possible. It's what's crazy is the refs hadn't even really been able to help out a whole ton, right? The better team just wins in the end. It doesn't matter what the hell is happening in this one. So we'll see. Maybe the Celtics, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the Celtics got the calls tonight, but like I said, it might not even be enough in this one. So Jimmy Butler under his points, that's what I'd be looking at in this one. If you do like the Celtics, the only way that you could take them, in my opinion, is first quarter, first half. If they don't come out there and cover the first quarter, first half, they have absolutely no chance at even winning this game, guys. So let's see what happens in this one, Andy. It's time to get out of here today, my brother. Make sure you guys go check them out. We got a couple of deals over there at Wager Talk, man. $2 Tuesday, two best bets from two handicappers at Sports Memo for $3. And at Wager Talk, you can get Ralph Michaels 5% MLB play for only $2. Andy, what do you have going over at Wager Talk, my brother? And any free pick for us to show today?
Yeah, we got an MLB play and two plays up for grabs here at wagertalk.com. One of them I'll go over in just a second, but also golf. You know, I know it's a basketball show, but you know how passionate I am about golf. We're coming off a 3-1 week. We had two pushes, but 3-1 off the PGA Championship. We got really good plays up now for golf, so encourage everyone to go grab that. That's where I'm doing a lot of damage, and also Formula One race this weekend. You know, units count no matter what sport they're coming from. So there's a good possibility we're not going to have basketball for a while. And then once the finals are over, people are looking for other sports. That's kind of where I shine. We got UFC going well. We've got auto racing. We've got golf. So those are going up right now. My best bet, Jay, honestly, this thing has hit 10 times in the playoffs so far, and it's juiced at minus 175. So I'm not playing it for a lot, but I have already locked this in personally and for clients. Just put 1 or 2 units on it. And that's Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals.
Okay.
So you look at what he did in Milwaukee. He had 3, 2, 2, 0, and 2. So he was 4-1 in that series. Then you go look at the Knicks. He had 2, 0, 2, 4, and 0. So he was 3-2 in that series. And Boston obviously turns the ball over a ton. And of course, when you have a team that turns the ball over, you got someone like Butler. He's gone for 6, 3, and 2. And the 2 steals he had was last game when he only played 31 minutes. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, and he still got 2 steals early. So this play just keeps cashing. If he does it again, I with the Nuggets, who knows? Maybe it goes up to 2.5. But I just want to keep cashing this as long as the books are giving us 1.5. You know, Jaylen Brown's good for 1. You know, Tatum's probably going to throw the ball right to him at least once. And we only need 2 steals from a very turnover-prone team. Like I said, very juicy. You're not going to play this for huge, but let's see if we can add 1 or 2 units to the bankroll on Butler over his steals.
I cannot talk you off there, my guy. Didn't place a single bet on today's game. I do like the Jimmy Butler under his points, the under 27.5, and that plus money, in my opinion, plus 105. I do think that's the right side in this one. The Heat have flipped to a favor. Could we see a sweep? We definitely could, but personally, I'm not betting on it. I'm not gonna bet on it. Like I say, it's really one of those where I'd be really surprised if there were 2 sweeps, to be honest with you. Do I trust the Celtics? Hell no. But seeing 2 sweeps in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals, like, it would be very surprising to me. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that would be very surprising to me. That would literally mean that we have no games for 8 whole days out there, man. So, like I say, conspiracies aside, I don't trust the Celtics. Should they win this game, at least get one of them? It's very possible. Like I say, if I'm taking the Celtics, it had to be first quarter, first half, because they have nothing if they don't come out with something here, guys. Did see a special ref in this game here, guys, but like I say, that hadn't really fucking mattered. That hadn't mattered, guys. So I'm not betting with the refs. I'm not betting with the conspiracy. None of that shit. I'm off the game. If you're betting the Heat, I wish you the best of luck. But I'm staying off this one. Jimmy Butler on his points, that would be my top look of the day in this one, guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. We here to give you sports bet advice. We talked about some props in this one. We talked about some total. We didn't talk about the total. I didn't really have any thoughts on it, but it's going to be a great game to watch.
I like the over.
Andy say he liked the over.
I like the over just because of the Heat. I don't even think you need that much help from Boston. I mean, they've gone under their team total in 2 out of 3 games, I think. But you look at what Miami's done. Miami's blowing their team total out of the water every game, and they're getting the game to go over. I mean, What is the total right now?
215, I believe.
Yeah, this is a Miami team that had 128 last game. They just
216 and a half. It's
yeah, they
going up. It opened up at 214 and a half. It's starting to touch 217. So the over is getting some play here.
Yeah, listen, if it is a blowout, you know what's going to happen. Miami's going to run up the score. And then in
Right.
the fourth quarter, if they put in their backups, you know, that's just like a G League up and down the court, you know, guys trying to put some stats on the board. There's not going to be a
Mhm.
hard defense played. So, yeah, I think the over correlates with Miami winning.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. The market is definitely moving to the over. And you know what? I'll tell you something with the line. If this line moves up to two, I think the line is at 1.5 right now. Whichever way it moves, I believe that tells you the right side. If it goes up to two, it's telling you want to be heat or nothing. If you see this thing start trickling back to the Celtics, that means somebody knows something. So I'll watch the line this one. If you see any -1s pop up for the Celtics, I think that'll tell you everything you need to know. If the line stays put 1.5, 2 for the Heat, I think this is a game where you basically just follow the line, in my opinion, man. So keep an eye on that. Regardless what happens, I think Jimmy Butler goes under 27.5 points. Last game he had 16 points, even in the blowout win. If they're blowing him out, they won't play Butler a whole lot of minutes. If they get blown out, they won't play Butler a whole lot of minutes. So I think it's going to be either or. I think that under 27.5 points is worth a look in that one, my guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go follow Andy at Twitter at Bump Sports. You can holler at them on Wager Talk as well. Do have a few best bets over there at Wager Talk for only $2 and Sports Memo as well, guys. Let's get some cash. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back Thursday? Whenever the next game is, my guys, Thursday, or if it's June 1st. You see what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out, guys.